Now, Steve, I know at the show here, there's been several panels. I moderated a panel on spectrum. Auctions are obviously a big issue for a lot of the carriers here. How do you view how the FCC is handling the spectrum issue? I mean, obviously with Wheeler coming in, 120 days now, he's been in charge. Right. He's made some big decisions. FCC's got some rules coming out soon on spectrum auctions. How do you think the FCC is handling that issue, and is it handling to, I guess, the significance that you guys think it needs to be handled for CCA members?
Oh, you're absolutely right. It's a huge issue. Top priority on the carrier side is getting access to spectrum. We just finished the H block. We're looking at rules for the AWS-3, and obviously we're still working on the incentive auction, 600 megahertz. And I can tell you, Tom Wheeler's got some huge challenges, and he stepped into to the middle of that with some time frames that I think he's going to have to try to hit. So I think he's probably dealing with the most complicated and complex type of auction anyone has ever attempted. And he's going to get it right. I as you know, I happen to spend a long time with Tom and work for him directly, and I can tell you his passion, his desire to not only get it right but deliver a quality policy decision that's going to not only help the carriers, the competitive nature of the carriers, but the consumers and the United States economy. I think he's going to get it right. I want to make sure that he has the tools he needs to get it right. Now, our job is to make sure he knows what our position is, and I think our goal of creating a competitive marketplace with new services and innovation really depends on whether a spectrum is going to be available. And on the AWS, we've made it very clear that we would like to see small geographic areas, 5x5 blocks, as many as we can. I think they've been responsive. They certainly have had an open door. We spent a lot of time and shoe leather down there walking the halls of the FCC, so I think they know where we're coming from. And I think all indications are that they want to create a competitive auction and they want to create a competitive marketplace. So in that regard, I think we're making progress on the AWS-3. Now on 600 megahertz, the big question is who's going to show up? Now, I know our wireless guys are going to show up on the forward auction side. How many of the broadcasters are going to show up on the reverse auction side? And that's extremely difficult. So I think the more the FCC can do to clarify the rules, ensure that the requirements and eligibility requirements for the auction are clear for everyone, and the broadcasters understand, as Tom Wheeler put it the other day, this is the best opportunity, once in a lifetime opportunity, and with that, they have an opportunity to not only take on a lot of cash for their efforts, but they're not compromising their business. I mean, they can repack, they can continue to be broadcasters and provide the same type of services and capabilities they've had for over 100 years. I just don't understand why we can't get through to the broadcasters that this is a much more efficient economic use of the spectrum, and it's not going to actually, when you think about it, it's actually may work to their benefit in the long run. They're going to get more efficient technology. We're going to be able to serve huge 1,800% data increased demand on the wireless side. We need mobile, high-speed broadband throughout America. This could do it.
It's something new, so perhaps they're a little afraid of change, and maybe that's just a matter of convincing them that it will be different, but you'll be okay. You can get through it. And maybe that's just the issue for the FCC and maybe even carriers to kind of convince the broadcasters that it's not going to be a huge change for their business models. That might be just the thing to kind of work on, maybe.
Well, I hope that as everyone gets more informed. And as the FCC is clearer and more precise and transparent in the rules that are going forward, that those type of logical conclusions will be arrived at. And I couldn't be happier to knowing that the person that's in charge of making this happen truly does understand the wireless industry. And we're gonna be there to help whenever we can.
Sounds good. Thanks so much, Steve. Appreciate it.